Alright, I've got footage from race number 13 for the OVKA 2021 season. We are at the Motorsports Country Club of Cincinnati in Batavia, Ohio. And this is the LO206 Masters Heavy class. And this will be the pre-final and the final in this video. Nice big course. We're lining up. I qualified 9th out of 24 karts. So a pretty big field. Good thing it's a big, warm-up lap so we can get the grid put together because, we're like 12 rows deep. So we're coming around, about ready to take the green flag. I did make a gear change after the qualifying. I took a tooth out on the rear, so I was gearing for a little more top-end speed, hoping that I would get some benefit going down this long straightaway. Long and short of it, I did not really get any benefit. I got a little bit slower. But right now, that last turn right there, that you go around the first left, it's pretty high speed, but the second one that we just went around, that's where a lot of action can happen on that first lap. But we are off. Everybody's pretty sorted out. There were no accidents in front of me. I have no idea what went on behind me. And I am driving around in 9th place where I started, I believe. That corner right there, that's probably, I would consider that the most important corner. If you don't come around that fast and get a good run onto this long straightaway, you can get gapped pretty fast back there. You can sometimes make it up with your braking right down through here. Like, I think I closed back in on both of those guys a little bit, but they had a much bigger gap going down that straightaway. And I actually, right through here, I start closing up on them even more. But spoiler alert, eventually they're going to stretch it back out on me after I gain back up on them. And I think part of it's going to be when I come around this corner down here. Through here I was pretty decent. It jostles you around a little bit, so sometimes you're hitting that and you just feel out of control. Your foot comes off the brake. And you can take that wide. Obviously you can see the dirt getting thrown up from some of the people in front of us. But the 111 went through that good, and he was able to duck underneath the 99. I think part of the 99, giving room to the 111 allowed me to close up on the 99. Good thing about this track too is there's a lot of places that you can actually look back over your shoulder a little bit and see how close people are to you, which it is helpful to have that information. Yeah, right now I'm pretty hopeful. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll be able to get these guys. Because I'm still, this is my second race here, so I am by no means a, well-practiced driver on this layout. I'm picking it up relatively good, I think, but I definitely have room for improvement. So I know that when I'm driving, and I'm hoping that I can find some improvement while I'm driving. That corner right there, sometimes it felt like you went around it fast and sometimes it didn't. The same with this right-hander up here. And a couple times I took it pretty short and I went over that curb and it just seemed to kind of throw you up in the air, and it didn't feel to me as if it was fast. Now, one thing I can do is check my Micron 5 data out later on and check the sectors and see if my feeling on the track matches up to what my performance data shows. But I cut this one a little too early. I get passed by one more kart. The number 86 gets past me into 9th place, and I finished 10th. But, and now the 86 is way ahead of me. You can barely see him. I cut out about the last 4 laps because there wasn't much action after that. But I did put the checkers back in because there was the 89 got me right there after the flat. I wanted to leave that in just for the 89 to look at. But that's the end of the pre-final. So I finished the pre-final 10th, and I will start the final in 10th. Again, not so bad. I'm still more towards the front. You know, I've only got 4 rows in front of me, and a decent amount of karts behind me. So, and as you can see, as we were lining up right there, there were a lot of karts on the left there. And the thing is, everybody's still pretty competitive. Nobody is really ridiculously slow out there or anything like that. So, you know, the racing's good. There's racing all the way around the track. Everybody, if you're not necessarily in the front, you're still having fun racing with the people that are around you, a little towards the middle or wherever you end up being in the field. So, you know, it's a good time to be had. And if you're watching these and you aren't into kart racing, you know, this is a good class to get into right here. Very little maintenance. I will tell you, before we hit this start, like, on my team, we don't get to take these karts home. We're part of a non-profit organization, so I don't own this kart that I'm driving. It's part of the team's. I'm able to do all of my maintenance, usually, day of the race, in about 2 hours prior to the first practice happening. And I'm still relatively competitive. So, okay, by the way, the 70, I think it's the 78, he had some mechanical issues right there, and he's pulled off. So we're into this, and I'll get back to that other stuff maybe in a different video, you know, talking about the affordability of this class and that kind of stuff. But for this race right now, I'm now in 8th place. The 99 started in 9th position to the left of me, and I was able to just get past him through those first couple corners, partially because my line went well at the start, and I was able to stay in it hard on the outside through those first couple of turns, and I was able to clear him. So with the 78 having his issues, he's in front of me, I'm now in 8th place, and I've got the 86 in front of me. As you can see, I'm pulling up on him. That might be, I did change my gear back to the gear that I had during qualifying, and the kart definitely felt like it was pulling a little harder. And, you know, I've got the leaders still right in front of me, although it's only been 1 lap. Sometimes those guys are gone in the first lap. I can still see them. They're not too far away. And I'm right there with the 86. And when we come around this corner right here, the leaders are going to get bunched up a little bit. They might bump a little bit. 86 tries to figure out how to get around the 10, and he picked the wrong side. I picked the correct side, and I got by the 86. I didn't get past the 10, but I fell in line behind him. Also, check out his motor mounted on the opposite side of everybody else. He's testing that out. He's not from our he doesn't come to our OVKA meets much or races much, but he's there every now and then, so I want to see how that develops if he continues doing that. Anyways, I end up finishing 7th. That is the end of that video, and I will see you on the next race video, which will be race 14 for the OVKA.